So class, welcome to the lecture number 23 of the course, Power System Operation and Control. And in this lecture, we will be starting our unit number 4th, which is and the first topic of unit number 4th, I am taking it is Power System Security. So what do you mean by Power System Security? So power system security means, you know, that in a power system we can have a number of contingencies. Okay, so this by power system security means I mean how we will handle our power system, in which way we will handle our power system, so that the power system, it operates securely. Okay, by securely I means that this that the system operates when there is any failure of component, means any component in the power system will fail, still how our system operates securely. Okay, so you know that in case so far we have studied in lecture number 2, we have to minimize the cost. Okay, apart from minimizing the cost, uh, this system should also work or operate securely. Okay, that is the probability of the black coat or equipment damage, it should be low. Okay, so there are two things. Okay, one, the cost should be low, and other, which we studied, cost should be low, cost of generation should be low, which we studied in unit number 2, that is economic load dispatch. And another thing is that while operating a power system, it is important that the power system should operate securely, which means that the probability of equipment or any or equipment damage should be, a probability of blackout or equipment damage, it should be low. So for example, I have taken a example here. I'm saying if a generating unit is taken offline, means I am taking one of the generator offline because of the auxiliary equipment failure. Okay, then by maintaining the proper amount of spinning reserve, the remaining units on the system can make up the deficit while maintaining the frequency within limits. So what I am saying means, I am saying it is a practice to operate the system, power system. Okay, so that so that when a contingency occurs, the power system operates securely. Okay, that means there is no component failure. So I am saying, for example, I took an example here. I'm taking an example that what I am saying, I'm saying that suppose I have n number of generators, and what I am doing, out of these n generators, I am taking one of the generator out of the system. Okay, I'm turning it off. So I have remaining n minus 1 generators. So what I can do means, initially we are means keeping some spinning reserve, okay, in each generator. So when one generator is taken off, the other generators can easily take up the load, okay, to compensate the power that was supplied by the generator, which we are taking off. For example, I am saying that I have 10 generators, 10 generators of 100 megawatt each, of 100 megawatt each, and suppose I am saying my load, total load is 900 megawatt. So what I am doing, I am not loading the generators. Suppose I have 10 generators, I am loading all the generators. How much? Up to 90 megawatt only. So the capacity of each generator is 10 megawatt. So total capacity is my 1000 megawatt. Total capacity is my 1000 megawatt. But what I am doing, and my total demand is 900 megawatt. So what I am doing, I am loading all the generators up to only 90 megawatt. So 10 multiplied by 90, will give me 900 megawatt. So I can supply this 900 megawatt of load using 10 generators by loading each generator up to 90 megawatt only. Okay, so each generator, okay, all the generators, they are producing 90 megawatt, means all the generators, they are spinning, the turbine is rotating, spinning. What do you mean by spin? Rotate. Okay, so they are spinning and they are generating 90 megawatt, but still they can generate 10 megawatt more. So that 10 megawatt is called as the spinning reserve. Hope you must have read about this spinning reserve. This 10 megawatt is the spinning reserve, means the machine is working, it is generating power, but this 10 megawatt, we are not loading the machine up to 100 megawatt. We are loading only it up to 90 megawatt, and we are keeping this 10 megawatt as reserve. Okay, reserve means which can be used in case of emergency, and this reserve is called as spinning reserve. Okay, so now I am saying out of these 10 generators, I have to take one generator out. Okay, means I have to turn off one generator, so remaining generator, so turning off one generator means how many generators are left? 9 are left. Okay, so 9 are left. So what is the capacity of each generator? Capacity of each generator is 100 megawatt. So initially each generator was producing 90, but now since I am taking one generator off, and I know that my generators, the 9 generators, they have still the capacity to supply 90 megawatt more power, 10 megawatt from each, which is called a spinning reserve. So 9 are left, each has a capacity of 100 megawatt. So what I do now, I will load each generator up to its full capacity, that is 90, that is 100 megawatt, and I will get a load so that I can supply a load of 900 megawatt. So now this is a generation and this is a demand. So the frequency will remain constant, frequency will not dip. Okay, however, suppose I was using 9 generators instead of 10. Suppose I was using 9 generators, each of 100 megawatts. So the total load it can supply was 90 megawatt. Maximum it can supply 900 megawatt. And my load is also 900 megawatt. So here I am not keeping any spinning reserve. So in case now I have to take one generator out, at that time what will happen? These generators, they will get overloaded. They cannot supply more than 100. So if one is taken off now, I have 8 generators, 8 multiplied by 100, maximum it will supply 800 megawatt. So now load is 900 and I can supply 800 only. So obviously the frequency will dip. But if I will use 10 generators and I will load each generator up to 90 megawatt, so that means I am keeping a reserve of 10 megawatt from each machine. Okay, so in case I will take one generator out, so these remaining 9 generators, they can increase their generation by 10 megawatt, so that the total generation increases by 90 megawatt. Okay, at that time again I will get 900 megawatts. So in this case I will get there will be no frequency dip. However, in this case, if I am not using 10, I am using only 9 generators. Means here I have only 9 generators, and I am loading all the generators up to their maximum capacity, that is 100 megawatt. In that case, we cannot keep the frequency constant. Okay, so this is a part of the power system security. Okay, means how we initially plan our power system operation, so that in case there is any contingency in the system, the contingency will not result in violation of the constraints. Okay. So next coming, so we are saying that a function of every energy management system is to minimize the cost while keeping the system secure under emergency condition. And emergency condition will depend upon what? Emergency condition depends upon the severity of violation of the operating limits. Severity of violations of the operating limits means how badly the limits are violated. Okay, how badly the limits are violated. If the limits are violated extensively, okay, I'm saying if the voltage frequency should be voltage, I'm saying voltage should be or p should be, voltage should be within 200 to 210. Suppose I'm saying the voltage is not in between, this voltage is going somewhere, I'm saying it is going suppose 400 volts. Okay, so you can see how badly the constants are violated here. Okay, so I'm saying this emergency condition depend upon how badly the constants are violated. Okay, so I am saying thus an important part of the security analysis, okay, moves around the power system ability to withstand the effect of the contingency. Okay, thus we mean the important part of security analysis moves around the power system's ability to withstand the effect of contingencies. This means even after the system is subjected to any contingency, okay, even after the contingency, how our system is, how we are able to means operate our system in a secure manner. Okay, so that is the importance of the system security. Now this power system security, it can be broken down into mainly, I have written it three, but it is mainly two functions. So first function is I have written it here, security assessment, and another is security control. Number one, security assessment, and another is security control. So if you can see security assessment, and security assessment means how we are assessing the system, how we are assessing our system. Okay, so obviously the for any assessment, the important aspects of any system security assessment, it is the first is the system monitoring, another is contingency analysis. Okay, and security control means how we are making our system secure. Okay, how we are making our system secure, because we are controlling here, we are controlling our system in such a manner that the system remains in the secure state of remains in the secure state. So this security control is called as security constant optimal power flow or corrective action analysis. Okay, so the first two part, that is system monitoring and contingency analysis, they come under security assessment, and the third part, security constant optimal power flow or corrective action, means security control. By security control, I will again tell means what corrective action should be taken in the pre-contingency state, so that if the contingency occurs, it will not result in any violation, limit violation in the पोस्ट कंटीजेंसी स्टेट मीन्स कंटीजेंसी आने से पहले ही हम कहते हैं कि ओके, अगर इस तरह की एक्स वाई और जेड टाइप की कंटीजेंसीज अगर आती हैं, उन कंटीजेंसीज को आती हैं, तो हमें अपने सिस्टम को किस तरह से ऑपरेट करना है, हम वो एडजस्टमेंट्स पहले ही कर लेते हैं कंटीजेंसी आने से पहले, ताकि अगर कंटीजेंसी आए, कंटीजेंसी आने के बाद हमारा सिस्टम लिमिट्स को वायलेट ना करे. ओके, सो कंटीजेंसी के बाद का टाइम पोस्ट कंटीजेंसी, कंटीजेंसी से पहले का टाइम प्री कंटीजेंसी. So decisions making or adjustment makes in the adjustments made in the pre-contingency states, so that there is no violation in the post-contingency state. Okay, is called security constant optimal power flow. Next, we are talking about that security analysis is broken down into two main functions which are carried out in any operation control center. Operation control center hota hai beta means any control center where we have operator, and that operator can control the power system. Okay, it can control the generation, it can means it cannot control the load, but it can go for, it can means go for, the operator can means go for load shedding. Okay, so that generation and power can be matched. Okay, so this includes two main functions, one is security assessment and another is security control. Okay, so security assessment means gives the security level of the system operating state, means हमारा सिस्टम कितना सिक्योर है, सिक्योरिटी लेवल ऑफ द सिस्टम ऑपरेटिंग स्टेट, प्रेजेंटली हमारा सिस्टम की सिक्योरिटी कैसी है. ठीक है. नंबर सेकंड, सिक्योरिटी कंट्रोल, इट डिटरमाइंस द अप्रोप्रिएट सिक्योरिटी constraint scheduling required to attain the optimal scheduling level. Okay, so now this security assessment, the first part, security assessment, involves two functions. Number one is security monitor, system monitoring, and contingency analysis. So this system monitoring, I'm talking about system monitoring. What do you mean by monitoring? Okay, suppose you are monitoring this not traffic. Okay, what will you monitor? You will monitor how much traffic is going is there on the road. Okay, so depending upon the traffic, you will say okay, the traffic in increases, so it can result into jam. Okay, number one, traffic is there in the system. If the traffic on the road increases, there can be jam in the system. And you can see if the people are, they are driving their vehicles in the wrong lane. Okay, they are driving in their vehicles in the wrong lane, it can result into accident, which is again a contingency. Okay, and if there is some breakdown of vehicle, okay, there is some breakdown in any vehicle, it can also lead to jamming, so which is another contingencies. Okay, so these are the type of contingencies. So how can you judge it? Simply by monitoring. So by monitoring, we means what is happening in on the road, you will monitor it and you will send that information to the traffic control unit, and traffic control unit will take the appropriate decision to disperse the traffic so that there is no jamming on the road. Okay, so that so I say by system monitoring, what will it provide? It will provide an operator with the up-to-date information, or up-to-date information means current information, presently kya ho raha hai, with the up-to-date information. Okay, or up-to-date information on current condition, and it simply detects violation in the actual system operating state. Okay, ये सिर्फ डाटा कलेक्ट करता है, और डाटा कलेक्ट करने के बाद देखता है इज देयर एनी वायलेशन और नॉट. Okay, then comes security analysis. So I will explain in detail after 5 minutes. Let me first explain this security analysis. So security analysis is performed in three distinctive stages. Number one, contingency definition. Okay, number two, contingency selection. Number 3, contingency evaluation. So contingency definition means it gives us a list of contingencies to be processed when probability whose probability of occurrence is high. Okay, so list of contingencies means क्या क्या abnormalities system में हैं हमारे, क्या system में list of contingencies. Suppose I can say that we can have a fault, three-phase fault in a system, it is one contingency. We can have an overload in the system, which is another contingency. We can have a loss of generator, okay, which is third contingency. And suppose one of the contingencies is that voltage at a bus, it falls below the minimum limit. Okay, so I'm saying there can be a number of contingencies in a system. Okay, so what this contingency definition means, we will get a list of contingency, okay, whose probability of occurrence is high. ठीक है. नंबर सेकेंड, अब मेरे पास वी हैव 4 contingencies. We will see which of the contingency is more dangerous for our power system. So is the load change more dangerous to our power system, or is the three-phase fault more dangerous to our power system? So depending upon the severity, okay, which obviously the contingency which is most severe, it will affect our power system badly. Okay, so depending upon the severity of the contingency, we will rank the contingencies. Okay, so means I will say that suppose I have contingencies like I have faults, okay, I have load changes, I have loss of generation, loss of generator. So I will rank this contingency. So I will say fault is the most severe contingency, then loss of generator is the second. I will rank this loss of generation as second contingency because it is more severe than this load change. So, and I will rank load change as the least severe contingency, most severe contingency, less severe contingency, and least severe contingency. So what we do in the second step, that is contingency selection, we get in the contingency definition, we are getting the list of contingency. In the contingency selection, what we do, we rank the contingencies are ranked in a rough order of severity, okay, employing contingency selection program. So obviously which is more severe, it will be selected first, and the least severe, it will be selected least. Okay, then comes the third stage, which is called as contingency evaluation. So contingency evaluation, what do we do in contingency evaluation? So contingency evaluation is then performed on successive contingencies. Okay, means first I will perform this contingency evaluation on this fault case, then I will perform contingency evaluation on loss of generator, and third I will perform contingency analysis of this load change. So what I will see, I will see, if I will perform contingency analysis, I will see how badly this fault will occur, means affect my power system. Okay, then what I will do, I will continuously run it till I make some adjustments in the system. Okay, in the system, so that after making these adjustments, I will say if a fault occurs in the system, it will not affect my system. It should not affect my system, so that though it will affect, but it should not lead to this any constant violation. Okay, so till then we run this contingency evaluation. So I am writing here, contingency evaluation is then performed on successive individual cases. Okay, in decreasing order of the severity, most severe उसका सबसे पहले contingency evaluation होगा, फिर less का और फिर least का. And this contingency evaluation process, it is continued up to a point where no post contingency violations are encountered. Okay, means contingency analysis, it is done in the pre-contingency stages. Okay, so that we see if a contingency occurs in the system should not result any should not violate any limit in the post contingency state. Okay, so that is what I am writing here. Evaluation process is continued up to the point where no post contingency violations are encountered. Okay, so you got it. System security, firstly 2 points, assessment and control. Assessment means monitoring, and contingency analysis. Contingency analysis, we select we define the contingency, we select the contingency, and we evaluate that contingency. Okay, in such a manner that in the post contingency state there should be no violation of the constraints. Okay, so then comes the security control. Security control, simply I have told you about security constant optimal power flow. Okay, so I will again explain these here. So what is system monitoring? System monitoring means, let me say, suppose I am saying this is my field, means this is my power system. So I am collecting data from the power system with the help of RTU, and from the RTU this information is sent to the control center. Control center where is sitting operator is sitting. Okay, operator is sitting. So what happens in system monitoring? The operator which is sitting in the control system, it is provided up to date information about the conditions of the power system. Okay, by whom? By RTU. So RTU collects the data from the field, and it processes the data, and it transmits that data to the control center. Okay, so, to provide information to this now operator which is sitting in the control system, so that appropriate action can be taken. Okay, so what type of data this RTU can collect? It can collect analog data or digital data. Okay, analog data, digital data. So what is this analog data? Analog means voltage level, current level, power transfer level. Okay, these all comes under analog data. What is digital data? Digital data, digital data includes status of circuit breaker, status of isolator or switches. Okay, so analog data also includes this generator output, load. Okay, so these all data are collected by RTU from the field, that is power system, and it is processed and transferred to the this control center for the operator to work. Okay, so now this data which goes from field to control center, this data with the help of computers, we have computers in the control center. With the help of computer, this data is processed and stored. Okay, and stored in the system database. Now we have all the data in the system, so we can, in a system we can have hundreds of generators. Okay, we can have hundreds of generators, hundreds of transmission lines, and hundreds of buses. Okay, so all the data that is available, it is not important. Okay, we are only important with the data. Okay, which is critical. Which is critical means which can lead to violation. Means suppose we are saying that at a certain in some transmission line there is fault. So if there is fault in that transmission line, what will happen? The circuit breakers on both the ends of that transmission line, they will open. Okay, so and that status, from that status of the circuit breaker, which is the digital data, this control center's operator sitting in the control system center, he will came to know, okay, what is this circuit breakers are off, open, so definitely there is fault in the system. So that data is called critical data. This type of data is called critical data. Means if there is some abnormality in the system, so the data pertaining to that abnormal condition is called as critical data. So I am saying data is processed and stored, and critical data or critical information is displayed on the screen, with alarm in case there is violation in the limit. Okay, so in this control center we have big computer screens. Okay, which is called as human machine interface, HMI, human machine interface. It includes a screen, big computer screen, and keyboard, so that we can so that a human can interface with the machine, and so that appropriate actions can be taken. Okay, so this is called HMI, human machine interface. Write it down: human machine interface. Okay, so what we are doing, critical, all the data is collected and processed, and it is transferred or transmitted to the control center, and it is stored in the system database, and the critical data is displayed on the screen in the control centers with alarm signal. Okay, in case there is any violation in the system. Okay, so this is called system monitoring. Then comes the contingency analysis. So what this contingency analysis do? Because of this contingency analysis, we say, okay, which type of contingency is severe. So what we do, we then run a contingency evaluation program. So because after running a contingency evaluation program, we can take suitable corrective action, so that this contingency will not result any violation, okay, in the post contingency. Okay, so by this means contingency analysis, by contingency analysis, result of this type of analysis allows the system to operate defensively. Okay, means defensively means no violation in constraints. So many of the problems that occur on a power system can cause serious troubles so quickly that the operator can may not could not take any preventive actions. Means these power these problems or disturbances that are occurring in the power system, they are so severe that within few seconds it can lead to the maloperation of the system. Okay, so what we do to avoid such, because in few seconds we cannot an operator cannot take preventive actions. Suppose 3 to 4 or 5 seconds, it is impossible for a operator to take corrective action, to reschedule the generation, or to go for load shedding, okay, or to change the status of the circuit breaker, because power system is a huge system, okay, consisting of thousands of generators. So to avoid such situations, okay, to avoid such situation, what we do, we have modern computers in the systems. So these modern computers, they are equipped, or they are already preloaded with contingency analysis program. Okay, so these computers can model the possible system troubles before they can occur. Okay, means pre-contingency, before the contingency occurs, these computer programs are designed so that if a particular contingency occurs, they can take the corrective action within seconds. Okay, so these programs are based on model of the power system and are used to study the outage events and alarm the operator for any potential overloads or out of limits, which I explained you here. Why? What is contingency evaluation? Means we have programs, we run these programs up to a point where we see that in the post, so that we see that in the post contingency state, no violations. There should be no violation. Okay. So last is this security control. Security control is nothing. It is called as security constant optimal power flow. So in this security contingency analysis, it is combined with an optimal power flow. The security analysis, it is combined with optimal power flow, which seeks to make changes in the optimal dispatch of generation as well as other adjustment, so that when a security analysis is run, no contingency results in violation of the constraints in the post contingency state or in the post contingency condition. So this was all about the power system security. So next I will in the next lecture I will start this contingency analysis. Okay, and tomorrow I will take an interaction class with you guys. Okay, thank you very much.